The Obsessive Love by Xuckyxheese. Intermission, a nightmare. Let's roll back the time where it all began. The hesitations due to its so-called emotions. It was like any other day of tempest. Everyone's doing their own respective roles in the area where their beloved Rimuru stayed. Diablo and Xian trying to prove which one is better. Gabiru and Vesta doing their own research. Benimaru and the others training in the Colosseum. Everyone has their own roles and for that reason to be useful for their lord. The aftermath of the Great War was quite a hassle for Rimuru, as he was sitting on his chair watching every single papers in front of his desk. As he sighed, Shuna came back with more stacks of papers, leaving a cramped look on Rimuru's face. So with nothing to do and as a king of Tempest, he battled his foes by checking each and every single paper there was. Time has passed and the sun was setting and he was almost finished checking the paperworks he has, so he asked from his partner Manas Seal to speed up the process. "Hey Seal, could you I'll do it." Wait, she finally did it, Rimuru thought while having a positive expression on his face. Seal took over the body and started doing the paperworks tenfold, as the hint of it the eyes switched from those golden eyes into crimson red eyes. He was with her since from the beginning till now. Well, there's mostly some parts where Rimuru angered her, so this not too much of a problem. But now it was different. The skill that has received from this so-called emotions now different, but her calculative side was still there, but the feelings she has for her master was unknown for her. She thought she knew everything from point A to point B, but when her emotions have come to play, the feelings she has been holding inside has been piling up waiting to be answered. Could she be more than a skill? Was she enough to be useful for her master? Would she anger Rimuru if she didn't do something right? She always and will never forget that part where his master died due to her slight miscalculation when she was still ultimate skill, and with a resolve she promised herself to do more better things for the sake of her master. But that's where her emotions come to play. The lingering effects of it. Like a strange wound, no matter how much you wrapped it with cloth it will always bleed. Location: Rimuru's home. It was night. The moon was shining through the windows where Rimuru and Seal, who materialized a body that was sitting on the tatami mat. Seal has started asking questions for this emotions she has experienced, but with a request from his master, she has no choice but to do it with him to feel more of this emotions she has. "Dream with me, it'll give you more experience, I promise that. There's a possibility where master gets harmed due to me abandoning my duties. It's fine, trust me, just sleep and dream with me once and after that tell me what you'll feel about it." Seal was reluctant about it, but from his master that was pleading all his might she ends up agreeing with him. Both of them changed from their sleeping clothes and lay down while covering themselves with a blanket. After that Rimuru snuggled closer to Seal and hugged her. She was embarrassed about it. If only she could ask more, but now's not the time for that. With a snap, Seal activated sleep, a skill that purpose is to put the individual into sleep. Water is wet. The moment Seal activated it, she could feel the drowsiness kicking in, so she let herself put into it the feeling of rest. Moments passed by. Seal is now in the state where she is dreaming, but what came to her was the opposite of it. A nightmare. Seal perspective, it was dark and empty. Is this what master sees every time he sleeps? I might ask him later. Then master appeared in front of me. "Master, can he hear me? Why are you walking away? Master, come back please. Stop walking away from me, Rimuru stopped walking, then turned around and faced Seal. When Seal has managed to catch up, she was finally about to go to him closer, but he was stopped by an invisible barrier. She tried to break it by activating one of her skills, but she can't. She was in a dream after all. She keeps shouting, seeking for attention from his master, but something unexpected happened. A woman has appeared beside Rimuru with the appearance of a teenager, having a purple hair and crimson eyes. She closed in to Rimuru and kissed him. Seal was standing there looking at the both of them, suppressing the tears that was about to fall out. She was experiencing sadness, betrayal and jealousy at the same time. After both Rimuru and the girl parted their lips, Rimuru walks closer to Seal, that the only between them was the barrier. Useless. Seal was shocked. She tried to remember everything from the beginning till now. What did she do wrong? How could she fix it? Tears started to fall from the eyes of Seal as Rimuru walks away from her, holding the hands of the girl beside her. "You have served your purpose now, Seal, thank you." "No. Master. Please come back, I am sorry." Seal screamed with all her might, trying to take back Rimuru from that girl beside her. Without looking back, both of them disappeared. Seal was there crying, trying to process everything that has happened in her nightmare from a so-called dream. She wants to wake up but she can't. She has to wait for the alarm of the skill sleep to be finished, then she can wake up. Still crying, sitting down with the barrier behind her, all she has to do now is wait. The girl appeared in front of her. She was enraged. Without a second thought, Seal tried to hold her, but instead her body passed through her like a ghost. The girl was only laughing on the decision Seal made. Beautiful isn't to steal someone's property. As she looks at Seal happily. Who are you? Seal positioned herself in front of her if something were to happen. You can call me a pate. I'm you, the opposite I should say. You speak the truth while I lie. With a sadistic smile on her face. What did you do to Rimuru? Nothing. Well. As a pate, hiding her reddened face from her hands. I want him like the way you love your master, but you'll never be enough. You only do things for the sake of yourself, not for Rimuru. I do not. I was born from him, etched into his soul till eternity. But will you do it? A pate starts circling around Seal, looking each other gazes. You almost got him killed. How useless can you be, Seal? But she was interrupted. You even do things behind his back. What kind of a loyal partner is that? A pate said while laughing. You loved him. You wanted to be more close to him that no one else has. Seal crouched down, covering both her ears with his hands, screaming to make a pate stop saying negative things she has done towards Rimuru. Those girls that flocked around him, especially Chloe. That piqued Seal attention. Rimuru started falling for her, yet here you are that lacked the resolve to confess such a waste. A pate crouched down to Seal, whispering something to her ears. You wanted Chloe gone, do you? Seal moved away from her. That's not true at all. You want to, but Rimuru would be saddened, wouldn't it, that her beloved Chloe is gone? That's why you're hesitant about it. With a flick of your wrist she's gone, isn't that easy? A pate moves closer again to her. What do you want? Simple. Let's be one. I'll handle everything. We both want Rimuru after all. A pate stood up and walks away. We'll see each other again, Seal. Before Seal could do anything, she woke up. Intermission. Ciel's true feelings. Rimuru was there inside in the room, laying down on the bed that Veldanava made for him, thinking of the events that happened so fast. He was just there looking to the ceiling without a blink of an eye. He tries to comfort himself by changing position, but he still ends up looking at the ceiling. He keeps touching those scars that Seal gave him. If it was all a dream to this point, all he can do now is wake up. It's the reality. He wants to ignore it, but he can't. It was the truth after all. Was there something he did wrong to her? He treated Seal as a partner, not as a servant or anything. He gave all of it to her, but as the events happens, it ended up as a betrayal. Looking back at it, Rimuru started reminiscing the past he has done, of the things that happened before it turned out like this. Then it appeared on his mind. A beautiful girl that has a wonderful expression on her face. He has seen this girl turn into a lady that's slowly getting in love, although some people didn't accept it. But the love they had towards each other can't be stopped no matter what. Her name was Chloe Aubert. Underscore 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 days after the nightmare. Location. Office. Rimuru's perspective. Is she all right? Ever since Seal tried dreaming, things have changed. Well, let's just say that every time I ask something for her, she'll do it instantly, and she's not even hesitating anymore. But there's some request that I ask for, she's reluctant about it, but in the end, she'll do it. But let's put that aside for now, since there's something more important than that. Me and Chloe are going to announce our relationship to everyone. Other than Ruminez and Leon knowing about it first, especially Leon when we went to El Dorado to tell him about it. The moment he saw us holding hands, without a second thought he rushed to me and was about to slash me with his sword, but Chloe stopped Leon midway and ended up getting scolded by her. Few talks goes by and everything is okay, and it ended with Leon saying, "If that slime does something bad to you, just tell me and I'll pick you up, okay?" Then we departed after that and headed to Rumina's place, and let's just say that history has repeated itself. If it's regarding Chloe, both of them will protect her at all cost. Since we got the green signal to both of them, we decided that might as well announce it to everyone. Third POV. With the use of Seal, all the paperwork was accomplished in a blink of an eye. Then Rimuru took over his body once again. The paperwork is neatly organized in front of him, so he stood up and starts doing light stretches. Even though he was a slime, he was still a human at heart, and the habit is hard to forget after all. The double leaf door was opened right in front of him. A lady was running to him while screaming his name with the appearance in mid-20, ebony-colored hair that was a ponytail, and wearing black and white clothes. Sensei. She leaps towards him and Rimuru just opened both of his arms to catch her. Chloe. Rimuru finally catches her and hugged her while turning around to ease up the momentum. Moments later they both stopped twirling around. Is everything fine now? Rimuru uses his right hand to head pat Chloe while still hugging her. No, let me stay with you more, Sensei. She hugged him tightly, as she buried her face onto his chest. Now don't worry about it since from now on. Rimuru holds the back waist of Chloe using his left hand while holding her chin, pulling her closer to his face. We will be together from now on starting today, with a smile on his face. Sensei. Chloe was embarrassed by him. Both of their faces are so close that they could feel each other's breaths as she closes her eyes and leaned in closer for a kiss. Seeing Chloe's movement, Rimuru also closed in on her. It was only inches left that both of their lips touch. Instead of a kiss, Rimuru decided to tease her, so he goes to her left ear and whispers softly, "Pervert." Chloe's face is now red as a tomato right now due to embarrassment. She hurriedly buries her face onto his chest again as she's lightly punching it. Sensei is not fair, with a muffled tone. They both stayed in their little pink world for a while. After that they separated from each other while still holding their hands. Shall we? Rimuru looks at Chloe and nodded in agreement since Rimuru contacted his subordinates for a meeting with a slight delay beforehand. They were walking down the corridor while thinning down their presence until they reached the area, and with a closed door standing on their way, they opened it. The room was met with silence for a few seconds as each individual stares at the person who opened the door, which was Rimuru and Chloe. Both of them met each other, and everyone gazes and for the time to break the ice that was solidifying to the room. Both of them went to the chair where Rimuru sat down. As they both stood there, Rimuru gradually lifts both of their hands that were holding to one another, showing a silver ring on Chloe's finger with a blue-white gem that shows each other character and the love they harbor one another. Rimuru and Chloe-sama, we congratulate you, in unison. Location. Imaginary Space Seal was staring at the things that were happening in front of her through the eyes of Rimuru and Chloe, receiving cheers and applause for announcing their love for one another. Why didn't he choose me? Is fate not within my side? She activated thought acceleration tenfold, calculating and seeking the right outcome to happen. As she was in the middle of her deep thoughts, a pate appeared within the space and hugged Seal from behind. Why are you here? Her thoughts were stopped. Just checking how the other me crumbled down due to her lack of courage. But before Seal could do anything, her movement was sealed up by a pate with both of her arms at the back of her and with a pate holding her chin, forcing to look at what's in front of them. Look how our master has fallen in love with a nameless heroine. She went closer to her ears. Your meaning for the sake of him has been stolen away from her. A pate let go of Seal, pushing her away from her, and with the moment Seal too made a distance from a pate. Seal took a deep breath, forming up her will of determination. Even if he won't choose me, in the end, I'll gladly accept any of his decisions, since from the beginning till now I'll always stay with him. I'm his partner after all. A pate clicked her tongue in disgust. Don't hide your real intention with your emotionless face. Sooner or later those emotions you hold will pour out. You can't hold them for long, Seal, keep that in mind. A pate disperses in a black mist. Seconds went by. Ciel's legs were starting to tremble. With her legs that can no longer hold more, she crumbled and tears were falling from both of her eyes. The will she had gathered up from before is gone like it never occurred. Still crying, she looked again in front of her, seeing Chloe sitting on Rimuru's lap, snuggled, forming their own little world. Chapter 4. Reconciliation and Dwargon. With the skirmish between the wolves and goblins finally ended, Rimuru called it a day. On the next day, however, Rimuru decided to have a gathering from the wolves and the goblins. Okay, listen up everyone. Gathering all the attention that was in front of him. Since all of us will be cooperating from now on, I will be laying down some rules. Both goblins and wolves tilted their head in confusion as to wait for their leader to speak. There will be 3 rules. Rule number 1 is don't attack the humans. Why? A goblin in the middle of the group asked. It's simple, because I like humans. With that said, all of them nodded in agreement. Look, humans lived in a group, so if we were to somehow antagonize them, they would come here with a large army and fight us, so it would be better if we befriend them since it's more beneficial to us. As expected of Rimuru-sama, cheers and applause were given to him in the midst of seriousness. For the second rule is no fighting amongst ourselves. And for the final third rule is no belittling other races, since all of us are equals in here. With all seriousness, they agreed and started talking to their fellow groups, so Rimuru decided to slip in one final announcement. With that said, you guys will be partnering with each other, one wolf and one goblin, because due to the fact that you guys are weak. And I'm gonna name each and every one of you. All of us? It's fine. Everything gonna be alright. Rimuru lined them up and started manually naming them. With the naming finally accomplished, he stood there watching how positive their expression is. If only this could last forever, Rimuru thought. But at that moment he started to feel sluggish and weak. At that moment he went into sleep mode, although Rimuru doesn't know about that yet. Rimuru woke up and found himself inside of a tent of some sort, but what was bothering him was Rimuru-sama has finally awoken. I'll go tell Rigard then. A goblina stated and hurriedly went out from the tent. Oi, since when did this village have a beautiful goblin? Rimuru thought. A few minutes come by, an overly ripped goblin comes into his vision. Turns out it was Rigard and stated how he got that body by receiving the name Rimuru gave. Also his unique skill. Great Sage talked about how he went to sleep mode due to naming a lot of goblins. It can't be helped, huh? Rimuru thought. I'm deeply sorry, Rimuru-sama, as we don't have the expertise and knowledge to do such things. Rigard, who has been given the title Goblin Lord. Well, we can look and hire some people that are skilled, especially artisans and blacksmiths. Rimuru-sama, I suggest you go to Dwargon? Dwargon? Yes, the armed nation of Dwargon. It's a city of dwarves that resides within a mountain. Perhaps you could find some suitable people for these jobs. Dwargon, huh? Since we are at it, might as well know we are and the geography of this area, Rimuru thought. Rigard, call in Rigor and other few people that will accompany me. Understood, Rimuru-sama. With that said, Rigor went ahead and hurriedly find the others. Ranga. Rimuru called out. Yes, master. Ranga appeared within the shadows of Rimuru. Ranga, who was an ordinary wolf that evolved to a tempest wolf due to receiving a name from his master Rimuru. Rimuru hops on top of Ranga. We'll set out to Dwargon. Get ready. Yes, master. With the rays of the sun going through the gaps within the forest, a group of goblins, wolves, and a leader of the pack was leading them. A slime. It has been a few days now. Their journey to the Dwargon has started. Rimuru was accompanied by Rigor and other few goblins and a special goblin known as Gobta. It was known that he received a name from Rimuru, but his physical body didn't evolve whatsoever. We are here. They were on the top of a hill, causing all of them to stop from their tracks. What was in front of them was what Rigard told them, a nation that uses the mountain as a natural shield and an indomitable fortress. The armed nation of Dwargon. Here the plan: only me, Gobta and Ranga will go in, the rest of you guys just stay here within the forest. But Rimuru-sama, Rigor was interrupted. It's fine, we are here to seek skilled individuals, not fight, and also it will cause suspicion if an evolved team of goblin and wolves come into their gates. Rimuru stated, though the rest were reluctant about it, but in the end, they gave up and agreed to their master. Let's go then, Ranga and Gata. So much for me saying, to find and not fight. Now I'm behind bars since those humans caused some unnecessary attention, and here I am in prison. Might as well kill time. Fortunately, Gobta is here, might as well do something about it, Rimuru thought as he looks at Gobta, who was snoring while hanging upside down, due to Rimuru who was playing with his threads. Emergency. A scream can be heard in the hallways. What happened? A dwarf guard replied. The mines have been attacked by an armosaurus and we have run out of potions to heal the injured workers down there. As both dwarfs were in a heated conversation, Rimuru decided to slip in. Hey you guys, both of you. That piqued both of their attention to the talking slime. You guys need some potions to heal those, right? Do you have some potions, Mr. Slime? Rimuru gave them a barrel full of healing for the sake of confirmation. The guards took it and did a quick check to see if it was real or whatnot. It is a healing potion, it really is. Both of them nodded and agreed to head out to the mines again. We'll be back, Mr. Slime. Thank you for your cooperation. Now looks like I finally received my get out of jail free card. I am Kaido, captain of the guards. I personally thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Slime. He lowered his head and bowed. Please raise your head, it was needed to help those injured individuals after all. Rimuru, who was finally free, started walking with Kaido. So your purpose of visit here is to find people who can help your village prosper and grow? Yes, that's the purpose of my visit. Then I can let you see my younger brother Kaijin. He is a blacksmith in this nation, so maybe he can help you. Let's go there then. A few minutes goes by. They arrived. In front of them was what Kaido said. He left Rimuru in there since duty calls for him, and so he went inside to the shop. Heat. Absolute heat. Without his thermal fluctuation resistance, he would be starting to melt. Hello. He tried to get the attention of the blacksmith who was in front of him, but to no avail. He was immersed in what he was doing. Hello. The blacksmith stopped and removed his goggles. Sorry, but I'm quite busy for today. What? Why though? It's just that cheeky Prime Minister ordered for an impossible request. Impossible request? That cheeky Prime Minister ordered for 20 Magisteel swords, and the due date is coming close, and with the mines got recently attacked, we are running out of ores to make do with. Ores, huh? Is this what you talked about? Rimuru plopped down the ore and the blacksmith inspected it. No way. The blacksmith's impression was pale, like he saw something out of the ordinary, so he called out his friends from the back to inspect it too. It really is. The cluster of this ore and its purity. Mr. Slime, by chance, where did you find this? The blacksmith and others went to him. Rimuru was perplexed by their reactions and movements. I just found it? Can we take it? Sure, if it helps, I guess. The blacksmith grabbed the ore cluster and gave it to one of his friends. With this we can complete that hell of an order from that minister. They were celebrating from joy, and as they were about to continue, Rimuru slipped in once more. I can help with the sword production too, so give me the best sword you got. They were dumbfounded by the slime statement. The blacksmith replied, surely you jest, it was already a blessing that we got that ore. Just trust me on this one. The blacksmith, who introduced himself as Kaijin, was uncertain about, but he decided to trust that slime by giving a Magisteel sword. With the use of Great Sage, Rimuru successfully copied and created 20 Magisteel swords. Not too strong nor brittle, it's an exact copy of the sword Kaijin gave him. Does it need more, or is this enough? Kaijin inspected all 20 swords. It really is the exact copy of mine. Now shall we talk about business then, Rimuru stated. As their formal talks went by, they decided to treat Rimuru from a so-called paradise, but what Rimuru didn't know was he was being watched from the start. So history will always repeat itself, might as well change it, the mysterious individual said while looking down from below, seeing the dwarves heading into paradise. I can't wait anymore. Master, to be this close yet so far from you. My selfish desires are leaking. Sooner or later we will be together. Heart. The individual then disappears from where she was standing.